Hey everyone, my name is Jay Gump, and I'll be the instructor for anatomy and physiology this semester. A little bit about me: I live in Conway, Massachusetts with a wife, daughter, and a couple of dogs. I have a lot of different hobbies. My biggest is probably cycling. I went to college, undergraduate at University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. I was a math major there. Ski bum in Breckenridge, Colorado for 5 years. Did a master's in exercise physiology at Colorado State University. PhD in molecular physiology and biophysics at University of Vermont. And then postdoc work in cancer research at UCSF, which was also the research I did as a PhD student. After that, I started a physiology lab and coaching business, working primarily with cyclists, and was a director of a professional cycling team. While I was doing that, after probably 8 years, I was teaching at a community college and kind of fell in love with the educational aspect and transitioned to teaching anatomy and physiology, and then moved to UMass. So I look at the human body from a lot of different perspectives, and I've tried to incorporate those perspectives into the class we're going to be taking. The material is super interesting. It's the entire human body. I hope you're going to find the perspectives we use a lot of fun. The class is a huge amount of work. I promise we're working to minimize the amount of effort it takes, but it's still a lot. So let me take you on a tour of the course and show you how to progress through each work week and hopefully how to succeed. All right, so moving inside to the computer, when you start Canvas, if you go to this modules section, this is what you should see. And there's a module called Start Here. Not coincidentally, that's where you should start. This will help you get paired with the McGraw-Hill platform that you'll be using for labs and our reading assignments. I'm going to skip this first week, the first day of class, because it's slightly different, but show you a typical week in the lecture. So we'll take the next week. You have a couple of things that you'll need to do. First, you'll need to log into Google. So I'll have this link in the first week. The only way you access course documents is by logging into Google with your UMass email and password. Next, you're going to see links. The first chapter, chapter 1, we have a list of learning objectives. And so I can click on Introduction to the Human Body Learning Objectives. It will take me to this particular area. When I have the class slides done, there will be links here. There will actually be two, one to full page slides and one to handouts that have 3 slides to each left-hand side of the page, and then a space for notes. You can use whichever one of those you'd like. There are going to be links to pre-recorded lecture videos. So in those videos, I will deliver content, for example, on homeostasis, one of our most important topics. So unfortunately, I was hoping that you would not see ads. This is on YouTube for accessibility, but there's no money making involved in it. So hopefully you won't see many ads. My dog is enthusiastic here. But anyway, going back to the learning objectives, you'll have these pre-recorded videos, and then you'll see a list of objectives you would want to achieve as we work through the material. You can achieve these objectives partially through the reading assignments, partially through these pre-recorded videos, and this information should be reinforced during class. At the end of each of these learning objectives are some practice problems where you'll be able to ask yourself whether or not you've achieved those objectives. So the first thing you would do is click on the learning objectives to see where you want to go. There is a SmartBook reading assignment that's due before each class period. This helps you arrive at class prepared. So if I click on the Chapter 1 SmartBook, it's going to open. It will take you directly to the McGraw-Hill website. The first time you do this, if you haven't purchased access, you'll be asked to, and the details on that are in the Start Here document. Now, the reading assignment that you go through, it will appear like this. One of the ways you can do this is just start reading, and this will guide you through the topics that we think are important here highlighted. When you go to the questions, so if I chose go straight to the questions, then I can answer questions. So physiology is a study of function of body parts. If I put that in there, it tells me I got it correct. If I move to the next one, the study of structure and form is should be called anatomy, but let me put in the wrong answer. Actually, just let me misspell it. Anatomage. And I'll click this, and it tells me no, that the answer is anatomy or morphology. And then it will take me to review the reading that explains the answer. So it's an interactive way of reinforcing the topics you should take from the reading. All right, so some of the reading assignments are long. I try to minimize the length of the assignments, but there is a lot of material to cover before you even get to class. All right, moving back to our modules. Um, so we have the reading assignments, the learning objectives. The other thing you have due every Sunday evening is a quiz called the Weekly Quiz 2. All right, so the quiz will look something like this. If I go over to the right, I'll see that I have 20 questions as part of this quiz. I can take the quiz as many times as I want, and I will see different questions each time. Now, you want to take these weekly quizzes multiple times. A lot of these questions appear directly on the exam, but each time you take the quiz, you get a different set of questions. So the more times you take the quiz, the more questions you'll see that will appear on the exam. So, which of the following requires the expenditure of energy is the first question I see here. If I submit that quiz, then I would have the option to take the quiz again. The highest grade counts. You'll see there's a different first question. There's a larger question bank than 20 questions. You want to see all the questions, so take the quiz multiple times. All right, so that's it for a typical week in the lecture portion of the course. You're going to want to look through the learning objectives, do the reading assignments due before each class, and then take the weekly quiz starting early in the week and repeating the quiz over and over so that you reinforce your knowledge of the material. We'll spend class time talking about the material that you've learned before class. Looking forward to getting started. I'll see you in class on the 30th.